Barry Milne got me influenced to play for Star. That's how it all started.
Have you enjoyed your time with the club?
Loved it. Wouldn't go anywhere else, so I should have come here from the start.
If you had to go back over those years and pick out a memory from the time you've been playing for the club, what would that memory be?
The first time I came back after breaking my arm, and Jason Walker and I we almost beat Old Boys outright with our bowling. Jason got about 9 wickets in the game, and so did I, and we were only 1 wicket short from winning that game, but that was a fantastic game of cricket. And like my first game back after injury, it was the biggest highlight.
Being a left armer, as a batsman, do you have any particular worries, or you feel it's a strength?
As a batsman, I struggle quite often on Hamilton pitches, as they're a little bit slow and don't favour themselves. My favourite shots, the hook, reverse sweep, that sort of thing. I've been very disappointed with my form, frankly.
And how long have you played for the club, Kevin?
This will be my 3rd season. This will be...
Of the 3 seasons that you've had with the club would be?
The highlight of my 3 seasons with the club.
One of the highlights.
One of the highlights would have been selected to play premiers 2 years ago for me. Since then it's been a long slide downhill apparently.
How long have you actually been playing for the club?
Joined in February '77, at the time Robert Brown was born. So,
if there was one person you had to name from the club who sort of typifies the Star spirit, who would that be?
It's a toughie also. David Webster.
And why is that?
For his cavalier approach to the game. It's an all or nothing attitude.
How long have you been playing for the club, David?
Oh, it must be almost 10 years now. 10 years at the club. What's that? Almost 20 seasons.
You should be dead.
20 seasons with Star Varsity.
And,
it's been a very happy 10 years too at Star Varsity. See many people come and go. Barry Milne, Alan Adcock, just to name 2.
And have you enjoyed your time playing for Star?
Yes, I think I have, yeah. Well, I've been dropped.
There's a lot of characters in the club. Who do you think typifies Star more than anyone else?
I'd have to say that Red Thomas, when he turns up, and Wilson Alley, they typify the enthusiasm and the vitality that we all need, to feed off and provide the enthusiasm for us all to keep going and bar up.
Garth Littlejohn for his brilliant concentration at the wicket springs to mind. David Webster for his general enjoyment of the game, and Martin Bradley for the amount of effort he puts into it and his good competitive nature. They're 3 that I can think of from the Premier side.
You had to name one who's the archetypal star man. Who's that?
I'd have to go with Bruce Cameron, I suppose. He'd be he's the first man I talked to in coming to Star, and he's been here ever since, and will probably be here till he dies, I would imagine. Another one, Barry Milne, of course, who's now over in Australia, but they'd be the 2 chaps that I'd probably be the most who've got the Star qualities.
Could you name one person that sort of typifies the Star image to you?
I suppose Red Thomas is pretty hard to beat. He's in their boots and all with whatever has to be done, whether it's on the administration or playing wise. Always there. He's always got a cool head when the rest of us are panicking and running around like headless chooks. Red's probably the ideal Star man in my eyes. Yeah.
A lot of characters in the club. If you had to name one as the character that typified Star, who would that be?
Red Thomas would be the archetypal Star man for me. Shows a lot of guts, a bit of humour, and always keen on the social side of things.
Red, how long have you actually played for the club?
It's you might have to clarify that with Brew, but 8 seasons.
8 seasons, and have you enjoyed that time with the club?
Well, what do you reckon? You'd joke I'd have to, wouldn't he? Have enjoyed it? Yeah.
Well, that's certainly the impression we get from everyone else.
The memories are stacked there, so...
Okay, well, give us a couple of those memories, your highlights of the time with Star.
Righto. Probably one of the good highlights would be playing indoor cricket with a ping pong around at Westie with Daryl Jones, Brew, Milne. That used to be a weekly event, so that's off the field. It's just playing against the good players, in the opposing teams and the good players that we've had over the years, but definitely guys like Mac, Alan Adcock, Kenny White, all good players in their own right. Yeah, I think personally it's just the learning from all those guys.
And what would be the highlight of that 4-month tenure in the club?
My highlight would be 74 runs I scored at Kensington Park the other day on a relatively flat wicket, so happy about that.
There's a lot of great characters in this club. Who would you rate as the character?
Oh, without question, Goose. He's 10 characters rolled into one, really. Schizophrenic.
Barney, how long have you been playing for Star?
Well, I've been playing for Star about first year of Varsity, so that's about 10 years now. No, about 5 years ago.
And what would be the highlight of that time?
Certainly there's been a lot of good Star sides I've played in. Just about winning the championship last year was a bit of a bummer, but no, there's been some good teams we've played in.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of characters in the club, and if you had to name one, someone who typified Star, who would that be?
Oh, there can only be one person. Wilson Ellie, I love him. He's a god. What more can you say? I'm sure we all feel the same way about him.
Yeah, there's obviously a few characters in the club. Who would you rate as the top character of Star?
Top character of Star? Well, I think it'd have to be Wilson Ellie. The man's just full on humour.
If you had to advise the Star spirit, who would that be?
Oh, everyone's saying Wilson Ellie, aren't they? But
That's all right. You can say me if you like.
Oh, Craig Cullen, he's a bit of a humorist, isn't he?
A lot of characters in the club. Who do you think most typifies the Star spirit?
Star Spirit. Oh, that's a hard one. There's so many characters. I'd have to pass on that one. No comment.
I think typifies the Star spirit more than anyone else.
Probably Wilson Ellie, Star Spirit. Ready to take the piss out of anything.
Who do you think sort of brings out the Star spirit more than anyone else?
Willie. Yeah, have to be Willie.
If you had to name one person from the club who sort of typified the club itself, who do you think that would be?
Well, it's a hard decision, but you can probably tell by the hat that I'm wearing, the person that I admire most in this world.
That'd be Wilson Ellie?
That would be right, yeah.
What is it about Wilson that made you choose him?
Oh, I think firstly his general all-round cricketing ability is something that most of us admire. You know, he's talented with the bat. He bowls a mean off break, and of course he was quite a brisk medium pacer in his earlier years.
Out of all those guys that you have met, who do you think is the man that typifies the Star spirit?
Well, I must say I've never met a character like Wilson Ellie, and to think he's going into politics, isn't he? That's a pretty scary thought, isn't it?
You mentioned a few names just before. You know, what are some of the great names that have been and gone through the club that really spring to mind?
It depends what you mean by great, I suppose. I think notoriety has really been a major measure of people's contribution to Star. We have a sort of madness exponent, which is a prerequisite of anyone joining the club. John Botterell's the champion of that at the current time, but people that have really made the club what it is over the last decade and perhaps are the persona of the way we play hard and we on the field and we play hard afterwards. The likes of Red, obviously, he's a reigning walrus, if you like, in the club. The likes of Butch, people like Milne, Alan Adcock, largely prior to my time. People like Brew, who's been around for a long, long time. The contribution that those people make over an extended period of time shape the personality of the club.
But to sum it all up, I just really enjoyed playing cricket with Brew Cameron and company in the senior A side. I think they're fantastic. A whole lot of great bunch of lads. You can't single anyone out.